Welcome to the Literally First Class podcast, where I will teach you how to overcome anxiety and achieve somatic success. I'm your host, Keri Ford. I'm a somatic success and holistic life coach here to bring humor, insight, and wisdom to the modern day woman that wants to feel alive in her daily life. You ready? Come on, I saved you a seat in first class. I'm coming at you today with a short but impactful episode, and I wanted to share with you something that I have been sitting with and reflecting on, and a realization that I had that was so powerful that it actually shifted the way that we're going to do everything moving forward in 2024. And that is the question, what if there was nothing to heal and actually nothing in the way of you having everything that you want? What I mean by this is, like, sometimes our people-pleasing tendencies, the pattern of taking on too much responsibility and thinking like there's constantly something wrong with you, is a fawn response that we have now put into motion in our healing journey, right? Have you ever felt like maybe you don't have something yet, you haven't manifested it yet, you haven't achieved that goal yet, maybe because there's something still that you need to heal that you're missing or that you're not seeing. But like, what if there wasn't? What if there was nothing there? What if you don't have it yet because you actually don't want it? What if you don't have that thing that you thought you wanted because you really don't want it? And that is the actual aligned, authentic truth. You know, we get caught up in comparison online, or we get caught up in our circles and looking at what she has and how she's doing it and, you know, the success that she's created. But maybe that is not for you. Maybe you actually don't even want an 8-figure company. Maybe you don't really want that promotion. And I've talked about both sides of this story before, but maybe you don't want that thing, and that's why you don't have it. But meanwhile, you're over here trying to clear blocks and barriers and be committed to your growth and healing. But those blocks and barriers, when they're self-created from that space, actually don't exist except for the fact that you think they do, right? So they do exist now that you think they exist. And so we are constantly in this healing mode where we have this idea that in order to achieve something, we always have to be healing the next block or barrier from having the next thing. But again, what if there was no healing required, right? And also the deeper truth being, what if that all of this is only to come back around full circle and realize that you don't even want the thing you thought you were healing to have? Like, what? So what do you do, right? What do you do in this situation? I mean, this is exactly why I created a 3-part training and a playbook called the Limitless Leader playbook, which actually helps you learn how to identify those inner barriers, or quote unquote barriers, the ones that maybe don't even exist, so you can stop self-sabotaging your success and pushing away your growth by creating this way that has looked like a commitment to growth and a commitment to healing, but in fact, it's pushing away the very growth you desire. And even bigger than that, it is silencing the authentic truth that is wanting to come out, that is wanting to be revealed. And yet you're working toward X, but you want Y deep down if you're really being honest. And so you'll learn how to listen to your intuition and take aligned action from a place that actually feels right to you. And so this is something I've been pondering. We're going to put the link here for the Limitless Leader playbook in the show notes. But this is something I've been pondering as well because, you know, we've spent a lot of time doing market research in the last 1.5 to 2 years for a few reasons. The first one is I had a company that went under, the business partnership wasn't aligned. I had been putting a lot of energy behind that. And so I had been taking energy from my Elevate with Keri company. But amidst all of that, I was also making a pivot and a transition to go from intuitive eating and fitness nutrition coaching into leadership coaching. And I didn't know yet at the time what those offers would be, what the product suite would look like, if there was an ascension model, how would that work? what my new messaging was, how I was serving people, what methods and processes were connected to that. And that takes time, it takes reps, and it takes testing to figure all of that out, right? Both from a marketing perspective in what is landing and resonating for people in a way that's like valuable and needed, but also to create results and transformation so that I have proof that these methods work, these processes actually create proven transformation and changes. And so we have all of that now. We have a brand new product suite, and we've played with different ways on how we're delivering things. And, we got, I don't want to say we got caught up, but we tried all these different ways. So I changed my business model to be more like a circle. And you could really enter the circle at any point in time. You could have a low ticket offer and do the Millionaire Mindset meditation program, or you could do a retreat, or you could do you could really do these micro offers, if you will. And still, for those that wanted the one-on-one elite, year-long mentorship, they could do that too. But you could really pop in and pop out of the circle as needed. This episode is presented by Cenegenics. I recently partnered with the leader in the performance health age management industry, Cenegenics. Today's healthcare system is made to treat people with health problems, not prevent them. And that is where Cenegenics comes in. They are the world's best age management health solution, fueled by sophisticated data, advanced technology like the Brainwavy and the DEXA scan I mentioned, and metabolic science. This is for busy women at the peak of their career who also want to achieve peak performance, both cognitively and physically, using a physician-led program that is completely custom to your history, biomarkers, and needs. They've helped more than 49,000 executives, just like me and you, elevate health, reduce stress, and optimize body composition. So we not only look good, but we feel good at any age and any level of leadership. As a brand partner, Cenegenics is offering listeners a free 10-minute consultation to see if the Performance Health program is your next step in elite health. Use my link below in the show notes to book. But then what I came to realize as we have continued to do this is it just started to feel like we had a lot of different offers, and then I was getting on calls, or my team was getting on calls, or we were having conversations in the DMs with people, and they're like, well, I know I want to work with you, I just don't even know where to start. And a confused buyer doesn't buy. But they also just don't know how we can help them, because they want to make sure that they are getting the program that is perfect for them, the type of support that they need for the results that they want to create. And so I realized that in an effort to diversify our product suite, that we were actually watering down a lot of our messaging and not giving people what they wanted. And so there's going to be a lot of shifts. I don't know exactly completely what those are going to look like yet, but I do know, and it's funny that this has, come on the coattails of the eclipse, but I do know there's going to be some big shifts, and God is calling me up to a higher version of myself. And I know that he's doing that because this is when I sometimes get angry at God for doing so, because it requires me to work through my own bullshit so that I can just step into and shift and say yes from a place of possibility instead of fear. And so there's going to be some changes. We're making refinements, but more importantly, we're simplifying and elevating our entire product suite. There just simply are too many offers. We've had success with some of them, and we've had failure with others. I mean, Millionaire Mindset is a beautiful program. It's got 86 beautiful meditations inside it, but it's not something that flies off the shelves. At first it did. And we also don't talk about it a lot, but it's not one of those products that moves quickly or seems to move people, right? It's not something that people are like, oh man, I really need that. So, Champagne Club, on the contrary, was a 6-week from ideation to creation and production that was like a wild success, and that was a very intuitive, aligned decision. And it popped up in 6 weeks out of nowhere. We sold out the room, 30 people. People flew in from all over the US just to be there for this single dinner and made a weekend of it. I mean, it was amazing. People are asking for the next in-person event, in fact. And so I'm like, okay, this is something that lit me up and it lit them up. And so how can I make more of this happen and bring it together with things that we already have created in our world so that we can create these rich and robust and elevated experiences for clients, but in a way that offers a lot of simplification as far as how they work with us, because it just gets to be a lot. And there's only so much real estate on social media, meaning on Instagram stories, in your Facebook group, and things like that. And if we're constantly promoting all these different offers, you can imagine it can be confusing. So anyway, I've had my own clarity in this because I thought that I wanted a diverse portfolio of products. I thought that I wanted, a large scalable program, but I actually really love one-on-one work. I actually really love intimate containers. I really love serving the 1% woman, the woman that doesn't need to be talked into continuing her personal development, growth, and commitment to herself, but also like the woman that doesn't need another hard mountain. Like, she's doing this to sharpen the axe, and she's doing it at a higher level, which is always a really fun place to play because she already is a fast integrator. And so obviously when you work with the 1% woman, and I've talked about this for like 3+ years now, when you work with 1% woman, they are not the 99. And so there are less of them. And so I think in an effort to try and serve all of these people, again, from a place of love, we have really become too diverse in our offerings. And so we're going to simplify things. We're going to sharpen our own axe, and I'm going to take my own advice. So short but sweet episode today. I hope you found a golden nugget in here so that you can make some first-class moves.
I hope you enjoyed your flight, and I'll see you on board again soon.
Seriously, though, thanks for listening. If you're ready to take this work deeper and upgrade your mind, I want to invite you to join us inside my Millionaire Mindset program. This is where you'll start using my guided meditations to help you overcome anxiety and experience even more abundance. When you join, you'll have access to my entire audio library. Head over to elevatewithkeri.com and we'll see you inside.